Alright, you know what? You wanted the angry swag, so you're fucking getting angry swag. Let's fucking reply to some stupid ass comment, shall we? So as some of you may recall, I made a video titled SWEGTA in Gothenburg. The video features just random clips of me, Mick, and some other guy in Gothenburg just chilling out, just doing our thing, and that's about it. That's all the clips feature. Now, there are two clips that actually got me some heat. The first one is a clip of Mick sitting by his computer. In the background, you can faintly hear a racist song playing. It's made by Johnny Rebel. If you don't know who Johnny Rebel is, he's basically this guy known for making racist and homophobic songs. He had like 5 minutes of fame up in the South when the United States was really fucking racist. And as such, his songs can be found online. A lot of people use them to mic spam or troll in-game. Now, the reason for why the song plays is something I'll get into later on, but I'm just leaving that there so you know what the clip is. The second clip that people took offense to is the part where Mick shoots the Quran. Now, he did this because we were recording a parody, a kind of satire of a Donald Trump advertisement. Basically what the joke is that you see the Quran, you hear some Islamic music playing, Mick comes out of his house with America Fuck Yeah playing in the background, he shoots the Quran, turns around and says, "Make America Great Again," and it fades to Trump 2016 in Comic Sans font. Now, if you think that any of that was meant to be taken seriously, then you're a fucking idiot and you should do the world a favor and just jump off a fucking bridge. Seriously, if you think that that video was meant to be taken seriously as like a fuck you towards Islam, I'm speechless. I don't know what to tell you. You're just wrong. You're just fucking flat out wrong. Because when Mick shot the Quran, he didn't do it because, fuck you Islam, because he doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't give a fuck about the books because they have no meaning to him. They have no meaning in terms of like he dislikes them or likes them. They're just fucking books, just like any other fucking book. He shot the Quran because it was a part of the joke. Now, if you know anything about Donald Trump, it's that he has a very offensive view on Muslims. That is why Islam is an element of the joke. It's because Trump has this out there point of view against Islam, so he decided, hey, let's feature this as part of the joke. Because if you take away the element of Islam in the joke, then all that's happening in the video is that you see nothing. Mick goes outside, shoots a BB gun into nothing, turns around and then says, "Make America Great Again." It's just not as good of a fucking joke. So the joke itself is not ha 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 fuck Islam. The joke is, here's this parody, here's this fucking slide fucking satire of Trump's advertisement, or his campaigns rather. That is what the fucking joke is. Now you know the joke, so just fuck off with this shit because I'm not fucking refuting this part any further. I've fucking had enough of this. So I think it's about time we go ahead and read some accusations I've had put against me. I'm not gonna name names because I don't want people to flood over to these people's channels and be like, "Fuck you, faggot, SWEGTA's awesome." Like, I don't want that. I want to fight my own fucking battles. So the first comment says, "SWEGTA, I really liked you until you played that racist shit." So basically he's referring to the clip where I was sitting in Mick's room recording him at his PC and you can hear some racist music in the background. Now I don't know why the fuck he thinks I played it. Did you ever think that I was just like an idle stand-up buyer who just happened to record at the time? Did that thought ever process like through your head, asshole? Because fact of the matter is, I was just fucking sitting there. Just me sitting there and just being there is enough for you to assume that I must be the culprit behind this shit. You have no indication whatsoever of me playing that song. If anything, you don't know who the fuck played it. That's the thing, you don't even see anyone get up and play the song, it's just there. So let me explain to you the context of that clip. I was sitting in Mick's room. He started playing Johnny Rebel because he finds Johnny Rebel to be funny. Not laughing with Johnny Rebel, but laughing at him. We laugh at his lyrical content because it's fucking ridiculous. If you've ever heard a Johnny Rebel song, you'll probably know what I mean, because it's just low quality, it's just redneck gibberish, it's fucking unintelligent as fuck and just overall inept. That's what's so funny, it's just listening to this fucking uneducated moron go like fucking relax and shit. Like that's just, we're not laughing with him, we're laughing at him. That is why the song was playing, because Mick thinks that's funny. Is it okay with you if he has a sense of humor that fucking differs from yours? Is that okay with you? So now you know why that song was playing. Let's proceed, shall we? So I responded to his comment with, deal with it. It wasn't even me who played it. I just happened to record at that time. And this guy is gonna get on my fucking nerves. So I'm gonna try and be civil and not flip the fuck out. He says, I know, right? I'm not even black, but apparently guilt by association doesn't exist. Now, let me just fucking stop you there, because guilt by association by itself is a logical fallacy. It's not an argument, it's just you failing logic. Basically, what guilt by association means is that you just being, like, somehow connected or related to the event is enough to just label you guilty. This doesn't work because it can be applied to fucking anything. I could blame you for fuck all. I could say, hey, you have this common character trait that Hitler had, so fuck you. Like, you can't use this as an argument and then expect me to fucking take it seriously. So don't use a logical fallacy as an argument. All the person you're arguing against has to do is Google the logical fallacy's name, go to the Wikipedia page, copy the URL, and send you the link to said page, and you can just read why the fuck you're wrong. You do see why this is just fucking laughable? You do see why I cannot take your first portion of the comment seriously? Anyway, let's move on. He says, guess we got to deal with it. To the fact that he's casually chilling with friends who play Johnny Rebel. Yes! That's what you ought to do, just fucking deal with it. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Just walk up to Mick and be like, I'm offended, and then fucking stop the song, sit down and fucking give him like a lecture and like warp his fucking sense of humor to be more politically correct? You know how fucking arrogant I would come off as if I did that? You know what, like, just the fact that you expect me to do something like that is just more insulting than the actual accusations of me being a racist, which are fucking flat out wrong. Just the fact that people expect me to just lecture Mick, like, sit down, young son, and let me tell you about, you know, the wrongs and you finding something funny. I'm not gonna fucking tell people how their sense of humor should be. I'm not gonna tell them what music they should play in their own fucking homes. And I'm not gonna fucking lecture Mick on how he should behave. If you take issue with Mick, then fucking talk to Mick. Don't automatically label me guilty as if I had fucking anything to do with the song playing, when in reality, I was just fucking sitting there. I love how, like, according to your logic, just me being there is enough to label me guilty. Just me fucking existing in that specific location is enough to be like, oh well, SWEGTA's a racist now. It's fucking moronic. That's all it is. And I'm just trying to just picture you as a troll. I'm just trying to fucking imagine you as someone who's just trolling, but I cannot for the life of me do that, because no person, even a fucking troll, would say something that fucking dumb. So please, with all due respect, just stop with this shit. Guilt by association doesn't work. It's a logical fallacy. I've said that before and I'll say it again. And the fact of the matter is, I did nothing wrong. I was just there. I was just fucking there with my friends, just sitting there. Is that okay with you? Apparently not. Apparently that's like a fucking sin in your book. He goes on to say, I would assume they're homophobic too, since they play Johnny Rebel. Racists and homophobic. You know, it's kind of interesting because just the fact that Johnny Rebel is a homophobe is enough to label me a homophobe too. Just this musician who has this out there point of view, who has a song playing in the background, it's just enough to just, you know, correlate me. I just reflect all of Johnny Rebel's values just because his song was there. You know, there are musicians that I like that I happen to disagree with. One of them happens to be Marilyn Manson. He actually robbed graves at one point. Does that mean that I just automatically, like, you know, I condone this behavior? No. Fuck no. I just like his music. And when it comes to Johnny Rebel, I don't even like his music. I just happen to fucking be there. That's it. And also, it's kind of interesting because am I supposed to just believe that every single musician, every single movie producer, every single, like, artist that you like, am I just supposed to believe that you share 100% of their values? Because, you know, you just happen to listen to them? Because that's the logic you're using. You're basically saying that, oh, well, Johnny Rebel music is playing there. Johnny Rebel is a homophobe and racist. Thus, they must be homophobic and racist. It's fucking absurd. It's fucking laughable. So please just knock this shit off and let's just move on as a species and do something more productive than this. Oh wait, we can't, because as soon as I'm just there recording a video, people just wanna overanalyze every single iota of that video. They just wanna get into it and just look at every single fucking modicum of that video and go, ha, I got you now, Sweg. It cannot just be that I just happen to be there. I just happen to be chilling out with my friends and one of them thinks it's funny to play Johnny Rebel because we laugh at his lyrics. No. I'm there because I share 100% of Johnny Rebel's values, and I'm just like this out there fucking racist and homophobe. Without a fucking shred of evidence, you're gonna lay that accusation against me? Yeah, thanks a lot, asshole. So I tell him guilt by association is a logical fallacy, and just because a friend of mine decides to play Johnny Rebel for comedic purposes doesn't mean that I should be the one to be blamed. If anything, we mock the lyrics. We find them absurd, which is why Mick likes to listen to it. It's funny because of how ridiculous the lyrics are. It's a fucking joke. Get over it. So the dude backs off, but not for long. Eventually he turns on me yet again, but we'll move on to the next comment. This is by some other guy. He says, I love you, SWEGTA, but you were an asshole in this video. Number 1, the video had your friend shot a Quran, and he spells the Quran wrong. You're lucky your fans are not Muslim. You know what's funny? You know what's fucking funny? I actually have spoken to quite a few of my fans, and a significant portion of them are Muslim. And you know what's interesting? The vast, at least 95% of them can take a fucking joke. They understand that we're not, it's not a direct insult. They do realize that there's a thing called comedy, satire, doing something hyperbole for the sake of comedic exaggeration. They do realize that that's a thing. Number 2, the video had a racist song with the N-word in it. The video has a song in it. Therefore, I'm an asshole. It's not like I picked the song, I just happened to have the song in the video because I just recorded Mick at his PC. That's the thing. The video is not meant to have clips with any kind of meaning or, societal commentary. It's just supposed to be random clips I recorded that I just threw in together. That's why you see clips that almost make no sense, is because they're just fucking there. I just happened to record at that time. Same thing applies to this clip. So it's not like an editorial choice I did when editing the video, I'm gonna insert this racist song. No, I just happened to be there. If this is what you consider quality content, then go fuck yourself. No offense. I love that. I love how you can just insult me and then just say, take no offense to said insult I just made right now. The mental gymnastics you do just astound me. It just does, because not only is this just guilt by association willy-nilly, but you just top it off with go fuck yourself and then tell me no offense, as if I'm not supposed to take offense to someone telling me to go fuck myself. And as if I'm not supposed to take offense to people just labeling me racist and homophobic without any kind of evidence. So, with all due respect, sir, go fuck yourself. No offense. Alright, I'm not shitting you now. I just got another comment in this thread in this section, and the dude says, let me just read this shit. Trust me, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm agreeing with you. He's responding to someone else. Someone needs to send this video to Scares. Oh my god, look, Scares covers a lot of drama, but he's not gonna give a fuck about some dude with 13k subs with a video with 2,000 views and a few people whining over nothing. He's not gonna give a shit. Why would he? No, he's gonna cover Keemstar instead, because that's so interesting. Alright, back to the comment I was responding to. So the dude says that because Mick shot the Quran, that's offensive to Muslims. Alright, then he proceeds to say, you're lucky you don't have any Muslims in your audience. How can you make that assumption? You do realize that Islam is a massive religion, right? And you do realize that I have over 13,000 viewers. And out of that portion of people, there ought to be at least a decent percentage of those of which are Muslim. So for you to say that you're lucky you don't have Muslim audience members, motherfucker, I do. And you know what? The vast majority of them know how to take a joke. They do realize that we did this hyperbole and that it's not supposed to be meant to be taken seriously. They do recognize that, unlike you, who, yet again, let me remind you, you're basically offended on the behalf of people you claim don't even fucking exist. Because you claim that there are no Muslims in my audience, when in reality there are. Any fucking way, let's move on to the next comment, shall we? So this is someone responding to the guy I just mentioned. Apparently, guilt by association is a quote-unquote logical fallacy. Yeah, it is. Google it. Like, logical fallacy is one of the first fucking terms that pop up. Let me just Google guilt by association, just see what happens. Let's see, guilt by association. Oh, look at this. So let me just read you the Wikipedia description of what a association fallacy is. An association fallacy is an inductive informal fallacy of the type hasty generalization or red herring, which asserts that qualities of one thing are inherently qualities of another, merely by irrelevant association. In other words, if it just has like anything in common, it's the exact same. Just me being there, I just share the values that make catch. Just because I have like this, common fucking bond with him called friendship, I must share all of his values and all of these controversial points of view just because I'm there. Don't you realize how fucking insane that sounds? Like, if that was an actual, like, legitimate thing to say, don't you know, like, that would just poison any fucking kind of friendship or relationship anyone would have, because people tend to disagree on things. I don't know if you do, but I tend to disagree with, like, even, like, my closest friends. Just because I'm friends with them doesn't mean that I'm, like, every single point of view you have, I now have adopted. Like, that's not reality. You're living in a fucking fantasy land. But let's move on. He says, somehow shooting religious books, such as a supported Quran, and playing racist songs about black people doesn't mean anything. I guess it's a logical fallacy too that some of SWEGTA subscribers may be Muslim or black. So this dude basically says the opposite of what the other guy says, but it's still not valid, because even if I have black subscribers and Muslim subscribers, doesn't mean fucking jack shit. You know why? Because it's not meant to be a fuck you towards Islam. It's meant to be a satire made hyperbole in extreme exaggeration when it comes to Trump's presidential campaign. Yet again, that's the joke. I'm not gonna go back to it anymore because I've done so numerous of times and I don't wanna fucking keep pounding the same ideas into my viewers' heads because they fucking get it now. It's funny that you mentioned black audience members because the same thing applies to them. You know what? A lot of them do understand that comedy is a thing that exists, that, people exaggerate for the sake of absurdity. Fuck! I mean, like, Mick and I have common fucking friends who are, like, Hispanic and black, who, like, listen to Moonman songs and think they're funny, even though they're racist as fuck. They still find it funny because it's fucking silly. So you're basically just this hypersensitive ninny who cannot just take a fucking joke. And like this other guy, you're basically offended on the behalf of other people that, like, you've never even fucking spoken to about this issue. Let me just correct myself, non-issue, because this isn't a fucking issue. I don't know why people feel the need to just, like, make the whole situation into, like, a racial discussion where, like, they're entitled to an apology or some shit. And what's interesting is the fact that this guy backed away from his accusations. Because I actually responded to him, and he said, oh, well, keep up the good content, and that was the end of it. But now he just retreats back to just saying, well, this must still be racist, even though I have no evidence of that. Alright, let me just clarify. Is the song racist? Yes. Is Mick shooting the Quran offensive? Yes. But both are elements in the absurd version of comedy we have. Basically, our sense of humor works like this. Something preposterous and fucking insane and extremely offensive happens, we laugh at it. We don't agree with it and then say, haha, yes, this is correct, haha. Like, we fucking laugh at the absurdity of the notions that Johnny Rebel makes. We laugh at the absurdity of that video we made being an official Donald Trump campaign, because that would just be fucking ridiculous. That is what's so funny. It's just fucking insane how I have to explain my sense of humor. It cannot just be that I have a subjective sense of humor. I have to specifically define each and every single aspect of the joke, which, by the way, fucking destroys the comedic timing and the fact that the joke is actually funny. It just fucking ruins it. It just turns it into like this fucking heated debate. Imagine if, like, comedians like Louis C.K. had to, like, clarify every single time they made a joke. You know, he makes the joke about, like, when he made the joke about babies being born with, like, defects, you know, he said, like, you know, there's babies grown with, you know, like, more arms than they need. There's babies with, like, you know, weird defects. There's Chinese babies, you know, like, and that's, he says Chinese because it's supposed to be like, whoa, what the fuck, you know? That is the reaction he wants from the audience. Because as he said in the past in multiple interviews, when the audience goes, oh, and starts, like, laughing, like, uncomfortably, that is, like, his golden shtick. That is what he's out for. That is his style of comedy. And that is the sense of humor I have, because it's just so fucking out there and insane that you cannot help but to laugh at it. The notion that Chinese babies would be at the same level as birth defects, to me, is just fucking ludicrous. That is what makes it so funny, because it's an unexpected thing to say. It's just something that someone just throws out there and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? That is why I find it funny. And I believe that is why Mick finds Johnny Rebel funny, because Johnny Rebel is an uneducated fucking imbecile who makes racist songs and had, like, you know, a modicum of fame back in the day when America was racist as shit. You know, you don't laugh with that, you laugh at it. Alright, believe me, we're almost done with this shit. I'm just gonna respond to the last couple of comments. Not sure if you're trying to say what SWEGTA did in the video was okay, but as far as I know, he and his friends did some fucked up shit here. A lot of people might be offended, just saying. Well, you do realize that getting offended is completely fucking subjective, just like my sense of humor. God, the fact that you can, like, just acknowledge that people might be offended, doesn't that to you indicate that being offended is subjective? And you know what's also subjective? My sense of humor. My sense of humor is subjective because every single person's sense of humor differs. Some people find some shit funny. Some people find it offensive. Some people just don't think it's funny and they fucking cringe. Everyone has their own interpretation of comedy. And in this case, we happen to have a sense of comedy that just doesn't fit yours. Is that okay with you? Does that offend you as well? Just the fact that I don't share your exact values? If anything, I probably share your values because I find the notion of black people being inferior, or the notion that, you know, like, you know, fuck Islam, I find those things to be absurd. I find people who say those things to be fucking laughable. So if anything, I agree with you. It's just the fact that my sense of humor is able to laugh at it. I just don't go like, oh my god, did he really say that? Like, my reaction to it is, ha ha ha, that's fucking ridiculous. I cannot take what you just said seriously. I don't know about you, but I feel more comfortable around people who can just laugh things off than people who feel entitled to, like, apologies and for people to back away from shit they didn't even do. Because let me remind you, asshole, I didn't play the song. I just sat there. So I hope I clarified this whole shit. This video has been recorded for about 20 minutes, half an hour. Wow. Hopefully I have enough material to last a video of decent portion, I suppose. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll elaborate. I hope that my arguments actually, like, made any sense and that I actually, like, you know, made some points at the very least, and I refuted these accusations. Like a wise man in this comment section once said, go fuck yourself. No offense. But to the people who recognize that this is just a joke, which is not meant to be taken seriously, thank you. Thank you for being sane. Thank you for understanding that comedy has elements of exaggeration in it. Thank you for recognizing that sometimes people just do and say shit for the sake of exaggeration and absurdity. Thank you. And to anyone who's still offended, you know what? Just leave a comment. Just let me know what the fuck it is and I'll talk to you there. I probably won't do it for long though, because I have other shit to do. I cannot just sit here and just respond all day to racist accusations. Like, that's just not something I want to do. So, in the moment, by the beat, let your thoughts flow. I was actually gonna upload Insanity Edition today, but I guess this is something that has to be uploaded instead. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that I should address this kind of shit, or should I just like be like, whatever, fuck you? Because like on one hand, you know, just the accusation of someone calling you a racist or homophobe is enough to like, you know, poison the well and make people just kind of like, oh, what if that's true? So I just wanted to like clarify in case someone actually like, someone new comes along and is like, I like this guy's videos, and then he sees this shit and he's like, oh, he's an asshole because apparently he's racist, even though that's not true. You know, that's basically what I want to prevent, but I know that you cannot realistically do that 100% of the time, but hey, hopefully I covered some ground and I clarified some misunderstandings. I hope you guys had fun listening to me fucking bitch for so long, but yeah, have a good one.